So this is a quick run through Anki for medical students. It's a summary of what I show you in the website using Anki step by step. To start off with, Anki uses active recall and spaced repetition, where you're continuously testing yourself on the things that you've learned. Starting with anatomy and physiology as you start medical school, and when you start to learn clinical things, you create a clinical deck. It includes different specialities, so you're testing yourself continuously around different topics to stay well-rounded, and you can target your study on specifics as I can show you later. Show you an example of how this works. Starting off here, we have an image, so this is learn anatomy, and I'm covering different parts to remember parts of the scapula. Okay, and if I remember that very easily, I can review it in 3 days. And if it was very difficult, I can review it in 25 minutes. And there are times in between that. And if I press easy now, next time I review the card and I press easy, it will be longer than 3 days. I can use it for memorizing tables as well. That's the same feature. And I like to use it for overdoses and their antidotes. Okay, and I can have a blank or closed deletion where I'm covering the answer, and this is a basic structure with a simple answer. To go in something more complex, I can have a card like this about vasculitis where I have different blanks, and this is what it looks like. Notice that I can also add pictures on top of what I remember, so I'm not requiring myself to remember all of this necessarily as part of the answer, but I have this here as well. So I have pictures of what vasculitis may look like, and this is a mind map that I've drawn on my iPad, so I use it alongside Anki, and I talk more about things you can use alongside Anki later in the website. Okay, last but not least is a disease profile. I highly recommend it for students in the clinical years. It gives you a good image around different topics. So it seems overwhelming at first, but when you do it enough times, basically you have a nice picture in your head about different topics. And again, I can include images, I can include different exam tips or things that I learn on placement. I can also use a searching feature. So if I go to browse and let's say I want to search about pancreatitis again, I can look at all the cards where pancreatitis comes up, and I'm essentially using this to read my notes, if you like. As well as that, I can look at different cards with relation to their specialty. So I can look at all the cards in emergency medicine or hematology or neurology, or I can look at them via the symptom they present. So these are cards that are about acute abdominal pain. And I can take that further and create a subset of cards where I have a targeted studying. So let's say I need to study with focus on neurology. So I can choose neurology and I can do all the questions I have on neurology. Let's say I'm preparing for an exam or something like that. Okay, so now I have thick 208 cards about neurology that I can go through. Okay, so that was a quick summary of using Anki for medical students. It is very effective and it's very convenient to use. You can also share your flashcards between you and your friends. If you're interested and you want to learn how to use it, go through the website and look at it step by step, and you can also contact me with any questions.